Hey guys! Today I'm going to talk to you about the importance of taking responsibility of your life as an adult. So, if right now you're in a position in your life where it's hard for you to make decisions by yourself, for instance, let's say you want to make a decision in your personal life or at work and you feel like you need someone else's approval to actually make that decision. You need someone else's validation, and you can't, or it's really hard for you to make that decision by yourself and suffer the consequences of your own mistakes. Then this video is for you. Children that grew up with parents that never kind of let them make their own mistakes, take their own decisions, and were micromanaged and were told exactly what to do, and especially children that were the perfect golden child and tried to always do everything right, always take good grades, always do the right things that would make their parents proud. These children grow up into adults, but they still remain in the child role, even in their adult life. Some are the golden child at work. They perform very well, but only if someone else is telling them what to do and is validating them. The problem with this is that in those moments, you're not an adult. And even if you're 25, 30, 45, like as an age, you are still emotionally, on an emotional level, you're still 13 or 10. You're still looking for that approval of a superior, of your parent, which your boss could be a representation of a parent, or your partner maybe even. And you feel like you need that constant validation. And you grew up thinking that if you're gonna get that validation from your parents and you're gonna do everything right, you'll finally feel good enough. You'll finally feel like, yeah, I'm good enough. Now I'm okay, I'm all right. The problem is, and I have so many clients coming up to me with this problem, when you're constantly looking for external approval, external validation, someone to tell you what to do so you make no mistakes, you can never truly find that validation, because that needs to be internal, and that's really important. If you're constantly listening to someone else, to your parents, to your wife, to your husband, to your boss, and you're scared to make your own decisions and make your own mistakes, and in the end find that approval and validation for yourself instead of seeking it externally, you'll always feel that sense of emptiness. So what you need to do right now, if you resonate with everything I've said and you identify with this child role that maybe you've lived in your whole life, is to start a process of becoming an adult. An adult that takes responsibility of their life, that takes responsibility for the mistakes they make, that knows that anything that comes their way, even if they take the wrong decision, they can handle it. And developing that trust in yourself that I can make my own decisions and I can handle anything that comes my way. And the first step of this is learning to separate the inner child and the adult. The inner child is what comes up, and it is what you feel when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel lost, when you feel like you need someone else to tell you what to do, when you feel like you don't know what to do and you'll make the wrong decision, when you feel like you need validation, when you feel like someone else needs to take care of you, someone else needs to decide for you, and someone else needs to be responsible for you. Any of these feelings of feeling overwhelmed or what I described earlier, all of these are feelings of the inner child. And even if you're 30, 40, 50-year-old, in terms of age, you can still be on an emotional level a 10-year-old or a 13-year-old, a 6-year-old that is still insecure and still needs someone else to tell them what to do. So it's important to realize when this inner child is coming up And to realize that in that moment, what you need is the adult part of yourself. The inner child doesn't need someone else. It doesn't need your parents, it doesn't need your partner, it doesn't need your boss, your friend, your therapist. It needs you. It needs you to become that parent, that figure, that superior figure for your inner child that is taking care of them, that is making them feel safe, that is validating them, that is making decisions for themselves and for their inner child. You need to become that parent for yourself that you are seeking validation from. So you can do a very simple exercise where you connect to your inner child as an adult. And what you need to do is when you feel like this inner child is coming up, you take a step back, you close your eyes, and you connect to that inner child inside of you. And you bring that adult part that has resources, that can take care of yourself, and that you can trust. When your inner child is screaming and crying and is throwing a tantrum, you won't be able to think clearly. It will fog your brain, it will take over your emotions, and you won't be able to operate as an adult. So you need to calm this child down. You need to make them feel safe. You need to make them feel relaxed. And this is the purpose of the exercise, to just connect to them and talk to them or hug them or caress them, whatever makes them feel good. You can even ask them, what do you need right now? What do you need? And they will always tell you, I need to feel safe, I need to feel loved, I need a hug. Just listen to your inner child and give it to them. And it's important that you let them know that it's all okay, that you're safe, that you are taking care of them. And when you manage to fill in that emptiness that you have accumulated in your life because you are constantly seeking external validation, when you realize that your inner child doesn't need someone else to tell them what to do, it doesn't need your parents, it doesn't need your therapist, your partner, your boss to tell them what to do. It needs to be able to rely and depend on you. That is the only moment you gain real self-confidence, when you gain real self-trust, when you feel internally and deeply that you can rely on yourself. You can handle anything that comes your way. So as I said before, this is a process. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to become a responsible, independent adult the next morning that is able to take their own decision. It's a process. And I encourage you to start by making small decisions for yourself. Instead of calling someone else and asking them, what should I cook, or how should I do my nails, or then even bigger things like, where do you think I should live? Where should I move? What job position should I take? Should I talk to my boss or not? Just like the kind of stuff you constantly ask for other people's validation for. Try to start making your own decisions. Try to start making your own mistakes. And it's really important that you are okay and comfortable with making mistakes. Otherwise, you'll never be able to take responsibility of your life. You need to be okay with making mistakes. And you need to know that you can handle any consequences of any mistakes that you make. When you are owning your life, when you own your decisions, because until now, you didn't really take responsibility for anything in your life. Until now, you maybe asked for several opinions or advice, or you were consulting with other people before making any decision. So it was never 100% or truly your responsibility. You need to start making your own decisions. You need to start taking ownership of what happens and knowing that you can handle it. You'll make a better decision next time, it's okay. but you can't keep living your life as a little child that is constantly looking for approval, that is constantly trying to be the golden perfect child that always makes the right decision. This is being an immature childlike adult, is not being a mature adult. So this is for yourself only, by the way. This is not for the other people in your life. You will never be able to feel satisfied with yourself. You'll never be able to feel good enough to trust yourself unless you're able to rely on yourself. And that means you taking responsibility for your life and you feeling like you can take care of yourself. Not that someone else needs to be around you constantly to take care of you or make decisions for you. That's when you truly feel safe and truly become an adult. It's a process, it's not gonna happen overnight, but start it slowly by making small decisions and small mistakes. And you will see in time that, oh, I'm okay. I made my own decision, my own mistake. I'm still alive, I'm still okay. So it's kind of like exposure therapy. You do it, and the more you do it, the more confident you feel doing it, and the better you feel overall. Thank you for listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or any other suggestions for future videos, please write them down in the comments. And lots of love and have a great week.